This is something I can see being a problem. This is something else I did today. Kids have got another. Yesterday I thought was the final ride on the snowmobile. I think it's today. They were out again today. Enough snow on the ground. Not anymore, but it was this morning. This is my feeding station basically for that bee yard. I have a feeding station, so in the fall I feed out of the big tote there. I fill that full of syrup and float straw on top. This time of year I don't do that. There's not that much feed going on, so usually I put it on the hives if need be, or I might fill that up and then put a lid on it, put some straw in it, right? But this is one thing I do in the spring. So I got a hive box here with Ultra Bee powder in it, so it's like a protein, a pollen substitute, right? And I put that in there. Why? Because bees are everywhere looking for food in the spring. So it'll bother neighboring farmers. So one year I had a problem with people who were trying to feed pigs, but they're just feeding them in the open, and they think somehow that I have some control over my bees. But anyway, I ended up moving a whole yard over that, and I don't like moving bee yards. Just, you know, it's only a week or two of them being a bother to the other farmer. Then after that, they would just leave, because there would be natural nectar and pollen, right? So, like, as you can see, there's bush here. Like, it won't be long after they start coming out a lot that they'll be in the trees getting the pollen off of them, eh? So, and then another time, actually a lady not far from here has horses, and she said every time I took a bale out of my barn, there were so many bees. It looked like they're swarms. And I said, they're not swarms. They're just, you cut your hay when there was some pollen probably on some of the weeds that are in there. And so they're just coming and just finding whatever they possibly can. So anyway, that's why I put that pollen out. It just keeps them closer to the hive, gives them something to start rearing brood with. Anyways, she came back like a week or two later, and she says, "You're right, they totally disappeared." I said, yeah, it's just that they're desperate for food in the spring. So I've went around this yard and I've packed down the snow underneath the fence. Got the fence up and running. These ones here, I'm just setting up to put new bees in them. And I don't know what happened to the beginning of my video, so I'm going to go over this again. These two little things right here, I've been going through this hive a dead out. Okay, I'm just cleaning it up. But I found these two. These two. So there's like a little cell there and a little cell there, and they're old queen cells that have old queen cells that have hatched out, and the bees started to tear them down. Now that's a possible reason for this hive not being surviving the winter. They might have lost a queen in the fall. So without that queen in there, they'll actually end up dying off. So that's a possibility of the reason this died. It's not a guarantee of what it was, but it's just a possibility. So I'll mark that down as a possible queen issue, right? And then that gives me a reason for one. Most of them I can't figure out what the hell happened. But anyways, that's it for for this one. We'll talk to you later.